clear advantage going into this turn 6 hairpin through the Parabolica at Hockenheim Ring. Yes, that's turn 5 here. It's going to be a little bit of an advantage for Diaz in that gray machine. He's got the inside path, but he overcooked the corner. That gives Avando a chance to fight back. He swept in from the high side there. He still has inside track just barely through the turn 7 kink. On the inside is Diaz at 8. Will he be able to clear? No! Avando wants to keep that door wide open, and now he'll have inside track, but the speed and momentum takes Diaz in front. Once again, Diaz and Avando, they just will not let each other get away. Usually, in open wheel, sports car racing, anything, you see the teammates give each other a little bit more space, but not here as they get through some of the slower traffic once again. And like the train, it keeps on chugging. So does this battle. Diaz goes down low to block, and then Avando says, no, I don't think so. We'll swap back down to the inside. It's a role reversal from the last time these two swapped positions into the turn 6 hairpin. On the inside, going into 7, it is Boris Avando. Diaz with some extra speed, but Avando, for now, keeps it in front. The outside, Avando closes the door. Diaz could not fight back there. Still some extra battling between Solpec.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. What's up, everybody? It's late. It's pretty late. But yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't get on earlier. Yeah. Commercial. What kind of commercial are we talking about? That reminds me, Ryan, I need to do the drawing for the R-Docs. Keep forgetting to do it. That's something stuck in my throat. Holy shit. How's everybody? Steve, Nathan, it's been a while. I was actually just talking to, I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, man, I don't know what happened with Nathan. He's disappeared. I'm worried about him. I got to reach out to him. And then you show up the next day. Hopefully everything is going good for you, man. Let's clean the glasses a little bit here. School stuff. Okay. We're going to do the first Interlagos. Then we'll do the drawing for the R-Docs. We got a couple replay reviews. After that, we could probably do an IMSA, or we could do maybe Porsche Cup at Road Atlanta. So I think that's the plan. Pretty good. Let's join the session here. Let's put some music on too. Steve, you're funny. All right. We're going to start from the back. Still testing the PC. Everything seems to be working good, so I'm starting to feel confident that we can go back to the main. But especially with no like practice, not practice, a warm up at all, I prefer to just jump on the Smurf, you know. Just no pressure, just kind of hang out. I hear there's been a little bit of rain at Lamar, which is kind of cool. I had a couple crashes, Nathan. I don't know what happened, but yeah. It was weird. I got a couple crashes and yeah. Luckily it was while I was on the Smurf. Otherwise, we would not have the 7K right now. And I'm liking the way that 7K looks on caps. It looks really nice next to my name. So I don't want to lose it. But technically, the goal is to get up to 8K at some point. You've also been experiencing... So I think it might be a BIOS thing with my motherboard. So, I don't know. I just got this motherboard. It's fairly new. But sometimes, you know, they don't update the BIOSes on the motherboard, so... X870? Asus? Yeah, it's an Asus X870A motherboard. So it could be that, man. That's the one you have too? Oh my god, dude. There you go, man. We just cracked it. I didn't know you had a 9800 X3D, Ryan. How come you need to put that in there, man? That's going to unlock so much performance for you. AI overclock on it? I don't think I do. I have precision boost overdrive. I have that set to like plus 100, and then I have
Charlie.
I have the curve optimizer down like minus 25, I think, or minus 20, something like that. Actually, I haven't even done anything to the graphics card on Afterburner. I need to do that. That reminds me. It's on my list of things to do, but I haven't done it. Been too busy? Yeah. Gotta rebuild, man. That's part. It makes you start to think, like, I can see why people just pay for the PCs just come pre-built, man. Because it is time consuming. Making sure everything is working, testing. Just getting in there, plugging everything properly. Yeah, well, maybe we have the same issue, Nathan. You're right, man. So, we're in the session already. We got Vigo in here. We got Mobin's in here. Mobin. Alright, the fact that Mobin, a guy that's this fast, is the same eye rating as me starting from the back, something is wrong there. Something is wrong.
Charlie, how could you do this to me?
I'm not calling him out, but something is going on there.
I'm sorry.
I think it's, I don't know, it depends. It depends what type of guy you are. But you're a guy that likes to get his hands dirty, right? And you like working on cars. So it's kind of the same thing, you know? You want to know what's under the hood, right? Not electronics. I guess it's a little different, but still, like, I like to know what I'm getting into. Like, it helps to be able to diagnose problems too. Like, if you've built your own PC, you've done a little bit of research, you feel more capable. It's a nice feeling to say, hey man, I built this thing. I don't know, at least for me, that's how I feel. The research is the part you don't have time for. Yeah, but you can just chat GPT that thing. Chat GPT does all the research. That's it. I was just talking to my brother actually about some AI stuff. Because he definitely uses AI a lot more than I do. You guys using AI? What do you guys use AI for? I use it for pretty simple stuff. Boris AI Ovando. That's what the A stands for. Not angel, it's AI. I'm an AI. I'm a coaching AI. Speaking of AI, I know Nathan, for example. Nathan uses he's used Trophy AI, which is a coaching AI, which I think is it's a cool concept. I've seen it in action. It's pretty cool. Making meal plans. All right. That's actually kind of neat because half the battle of meal planning is like, what should I make? And it's so much easier if somebody just tells you what to eat. Just eat this. Buy this, make this, eat this. Perfect. Kid stories. That's a good idea actually. I know my niece, she loves to read. Always reading books. Yeah. That's half the battle is it's AI processes information so well, right? That's the power of AI in my opinion. It's like processing all that information and giving you good output. And but it's only as good as the information it gets, right? And that's where the reference labs come into play. Yeah, that's good, Steve. I've actually done that for some Reddit posts I made where I was trying to drum up some interest for the Discord. You know, I type it up a little bit, but then I throw it into the AI and hey, format this nicely for Reddit or for a Discord post or you know. Just you know, optimize it. All right, let's change the setup here. Make sure we got the right setup. Yeah, we do. We got Edwin in here. We got Miguel's in here. Mobin's in here. Should be a good race. If we get up to the front, maybe we can have a battle with Edwin or Mobin, maybe. I don't know. They're fast as hell, so it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Ryan, you gotta remind me. I don't know what time you're going to sleep here, but you gotta remind me to do the drawing for the RDocs because I keep forgetting. We got 2 replay reviews I gotta do as well that I forgot. I was gonna do them last night, but I forgot. I was gonna do the drawing last night and I forgot. So we're doing the RDocs drawing, which is gonna be basically for all the RDocs subs. We got 1 coaching session. I think we have 3 gift cards to give away. And then we're going to have a followers giveaway at 1,000 followers. I got to put that up. I haven't made an official announcement on it, but yeah, we're going to do that. I was thinking maybe we'll do one at 1,000. We'll do one at 1,500. And then we'll do another one at 2,000 followers. I think that's the goal. The real goal is 2,000 followers. That would be cool. We got to grow the Discord a little bit too. I haven't spent as much time on the Discord this week and last week, so I want to get into Discord a little bit this week. How many subs we got right now? I'm not sure. Let me check. Subs, we got 15. We got 15 subs right now. Oh, how many subs we have right now? Okay, send me the updated list, Ryan. Steve, yeah, Steve's our doc sub. Okay, what gloves should I wear here? We're gonna wear the Under Armour. We'll go with the Under Armour this time. Shoot, I almost forgot to start up SimHub. Now we got double audio. All right, let's grid up. Let's record.
Next time by, line up on the left side. The estimated SOF is 3,049. Pit road is closed. We expect to be fighting for the podium.
Yeah, Mike and I are carrying on the torch here, and we're talking about some potential like plans for expansion, but it's kind of tough, you know, because there's a lot of competition, there's a lot of options, and it's also a very time-consuming process. Like creating good setups, good data packs, being involved, it's very time consuming, and but I do enjoy doing it, to be honest. I do like doing it, but I don't know if I could do more cars. What's up, Sky Edge? Alright, please don't hit me. Alright, let's go. Nerves of the first race kicking in a little bit. I don't know why, but the first race I always get a little bit of nerves. I can feel like a little bit of the knees just shaking a little bit. Heart rate going up a little. It's just that first race of the night. Always.
Right side. There's an incident behind. Still there, hold your line. Clear on the right.
Oh my God.
No, if we're gonna send it inside, let's try to make the corner yet.
What the hell was that? Who is this? Hubert. Peter.
Left side. Clear.
He almost killed us all. A good thing I was not beside him, man. Somehow I released the throttle.
top 10. Still there. Clear.
Sorry guys, I haven't read the chat in the all of last lap because that's pretty intense. Oh, no off track. Nice. David, such a nice guy. He completely let me by.
Clear.
Someone's locking up ahead. Starting from the back is an adventure. You never know what you're gonna get. It's like a box of chocolates. You always hope you're gonna get this like really nice run through the traffic, not get checked up, let the holes open up, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. Like these guys are battling hard here. So this is gonna be tough. Oh shit. What the hell was that? Literally a huge stutter. Alright, let's hope these guys don't take each other out. We got German, Vincent, and Hamilton, and they're battling here. Checked up too much. Dude, I feel like Lando Norris behind Leclerc right now. I'm doing stupid stuff. This is how I took somebody out of Laval last night. Because I was doing stupid stuff. Literally was gonna take me out. Dude. Vincent, you're killing me.
Left side. Clear on the left.
Vincent is not going to let us by, which is cool, but we cannot be on the outside of Vincent because he's...
Left side. Clear.
So we got to be opportunistic against Vincent. Oh my God, Vincent, Vincent, Vincent. Vincent, why?
Car behind has gone off. The colour's fine.
Why? I had a feeling. Vincent. Ah, we're 7 seconds behind. Yeah.
You're in fifth.
Hey, anything is possible with traffic, but it's gonna be really tough. What's up, Mark? Pour one out for Vincent. Yeah. We got the elbows out with Vincent as well. Not really elbows. I think we're very opportunistic. No one saw that. Avert your eyes. New OP line found. Oh my God. The apex? I didn't miss the apex, but I definitely drove off the track. Three football fields. That's a little exaggerated, isn't it? Maybe like 2.5. Actually, I was pretty disappointed. My Commanders lost to the Cowboys. They got whooped pretty bad. Not just that, Daniels got injured. I don't know how severe it was, but definitely came out of the game. Mariota came in.
Car right, 20 minutes to go. Clear on the right.
It should be interesting here.
Car right. Clear.
Dutchman with the follow. Thank you, Dutchman. Welcome. Oh, that's good, Steve. Yeah, I really like the simplicity of it. Just bare bones. I'm a minimalist.
Left the session.
I don't like additional things. Oh, shit.
Car on your left. Still there.
Hamilton.
Clear.
And he tucks in. Damn, that was not an off track? That's crazy. We gotta pass this GT4 quick.
Clear on the left. Car on your left. Stay on the right. Clear.
Hi, Charlie.
I don't like how dark it is, man. It's too gloomy. Dude, how is the GT4 so slow through there? What the hell? Calvin really parked him, man. If Hamilton goes for it, we'll see. Oh, he's not going for it.
You're in fourth position. Good job.
Just get by these guys here. We'll lose a little bit of time, but I think we've gained a little. Now we're 7 seconds behind.
Clear on the right. Right side. Clear on the right. You're pulling away from the car behind. The gap is 1.1 seconds. Clear. Right side. Clear.
This traffic is intense at Interlagos.
Left side. Clear.
Whew. Do I do laps in GT4? I have driven the GT4s. I haven't driven the GT4s here. So I don't know exactly where they're braking, but I do know it's pretty early. So, but I kind of have an idea of what to expect.
Right side. Clear.
But I will say that it will help you in terms of traffic management. If you know what the slower class car is capable of, it's going to help you. So I would highly encourage you to try it at the very minimum if you're having trouble. Like here, for example, depending on where you are, you're either going to go to the inside or you're going to go to the outside.
Clear.
It's going to be one of the two. It just depends how far back you are from the GT4. Man, it just surprises me just how much slower they are through the last corner there. They're very slow to the last corner. What's up, G-Dog? You've been doing some Le Mans or some Hockenheim? What have you been up to, man?
Left side. Clear on the left. Right side.
The mirror looks weird. Yeah, dude. It makes them look like cartoons, doesn't it? The prototypes especially, they look so funny.
Yeah, there's a car there.
Oh yeah, MC Sport. You guys running a GT3 or what? I'm guessing it's GT3. I haven't seen you drive a GTP or. You're loaned to PGZ? How'd that happen? How's Pablo treating you over there? I saw his YouTube video. It seems like he just moved back to the UK. He's showing off his new rig.
New fast flat for you.
Permanent loan to SPR. Hey, we got some Canadians on the team. I'm sure they would like some company. I don't know, I feel like our GT3 side is not as strong though. We still got to take the next step in the GT3 class.
Right side. Clear. The leader is running 28.892. That was your fastest lap of the session.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. That's how you know Apex has a lot of talent on their team. When you can't get a seat in the car. But I mean, it's teams of 2, right? So it's only 4 drivers. There's only really 4 spots open, right? What about driving as a support driver? We're catching a little bit to the guys, but I guess we're getting a little bit more lucky in traffic than they are.
Just check your fastest lap of the session.
Ooh, a little deep. Get this draft. Let's get it. Oh, you see, this is lucky right there. You get the draft, you don't get any checkup at all.
Clear
It's
on
very
the top.
nice.
10 minutes to go. Going well. Keep at it.
Well, Steve, you got to talk to Ryan. Ryan's the recruiter. I get no say in who joins. I can recommend. Ryan's the main man, though. Oh my god, that was horrible. Yeah, Nick's in Canada. We got Nick, we got Pat, Nathan.
The car in P1 just set the fastest lap. 28.551. That was your fastest lap of the session.
Oh shit. Damn, I lost a lot of time. Got a lap, 5/10. Jerome, yep. Oh shit, we're gonna lose a lot of time here, I think. Are we gonna send this? Yes, we are.
Car
I thought he was talking to me. I was like, what?
Just fully drove into me there like I wasn't there.
Yeah, Jerome started the team, technically, because it was Precision Racing Esports. That's how the team started. I joined it when it was Precision Racing Esports after RSR Esports disbanded. And there was really only like 5 of us at the time. Then Ryan joined, and then a bunch of people joined.
Car right. Clear on the right. Car on your left. Clear.
Yeah, there was a big influx of drivers after Ryan joined. I honestly don't even remember, but just, yeah, tons of drivers.
Right side.
Mm,
Clear. Car right. You're in the middle. 3 wide. Left side. 2 wide. Clear.
dude, that scared the shit out of me. I gained some time over on them there. We're gonna have some traffic here, and they're not, I think. Oh no, this is not good. Should I try to go for the outside or the inside? We're gonna try the outside. Nope, we're going for the inside.
Car on your left. Clear. Five minutes to go. Car right. Clear.
Whew. Ryan is a very social butterfly. He made a lot of stuff happen for the team for sure.
Left side. Clear. Left side. You have about 5 laps of fuel left. Clear.
Oh my god, I almost lost it. I was so close to losing that. We're right on Edwin, but he got through this traffic. We should be able to get by this guy.
Car on your left. Clear on the left. Car on your left. Clear.
Oh, we're close to Edwin. We're close. No, we almost lost it. What the hell was that? Oh, Edwin got screwed in traffic because the other guy's still 4 seconds up. How much time? We got 3 minutes, 3 more laps, I think.
The car in P1 just set the fastest lap. 28.477.
Can Mobin catch Miguel? Oh, we're deep. We're taking it off track. Edwin's gonna get him. I think he's gonna get him. Yes, he did.
Car on your left. Clear.
Ah, I thought it was in first. This should be interesting. Oh, we're gonna lose some time here. This is GT4 for sure.
Car right. Clear on
Oh man, there's not much more checkup I could do. I tried to check up as much as I could. But oh shit, that guy just disappeared. This is the last lap. Oh, this sucks. Yeah, we're screwed. This is like the worst place for this to happen. Okay, where is this guy?
right side. Clear on the right. Car right. Clear.
Nice fucking driving, Fernando. You forced me now twice off the track.
Fernando,
Always knowing what you were doing.
what are you doing, Fernando? And that's all she wrote. We could not catch Edwin. It was close. Sure. I'll take a look at it, Mark. $6X? How did we get 6X? That's a lot of X's for no reason.
Flag, checkered flag. Good job. Very good job.
Good stuff, Miguel. Good stuff, Movin.
Sorry for the start there. I completely fucked that up. My bad.
Take a look at it. Ryan, did you get a chance to send me the updated list, hopefully? Oh, is this Twitter? I don't have Twitter. Alright. So Ryan, oh, you told me tomorrow? Okay. Never mind then. We're not doing the drawing today, guys. Sorry. No drawing.
He missed.
Alright, let's take a look.
Oh, that's gonna be a bad report. Actually, two of them.
Let's see.
Just a couple of laps before we open the pit window, and we'll get our AM drivers out and put our pros in. And who's looking? Oh, big crash between our leading two into turn one. Anthony Liu has been caught out by here in Beijing. Just a couple of laps before we open the pit window, and we'll get our AM drivers out and put our pros in. And who's looking? Oh, big crash between.
Did he get hit from behind?
Into turn one.
Oh, his brakes died?
By Andy Dung there into turn one. Again, but not at the moment. They're still racing at the moment. And that's an absolute disaster.
Ah, dude, that sucks. Yeah, dude, that sucks. That's happened actually to a teammate of mine. Going into T5 of Road Atlanta, his brake gave out, went straight past into the wall. It was not good. All right, let's see what happened. Let's see if there were some good passes. See if there was some wrecks we could take a look at. Good race, Miguel. Good stuff, man. Traffic is tricky, man. Because some of the GT4s are very, very slow through some of the slow speed stuff. Much more than I thought. Oh my god. Look at this. Look at this. Holy shit. Oh my god, dude. This is the beauty right here. This is why you don't leave anything open. Like zero open. This is exactly what happened at Coda with Alonso sending it on Hulkenberg, who then, got turned into by Piastri. But it's like you see the lane, but it's gonna close. But you could try to put it in there. And he's not the one that causes he's not the one that really makes the impact. But this is the reason probably why this guy in the Mustang gets the shit into the stick. Because now this guy cannot take the apex. And he's coming from so far back. None of these guys are they know they're 3 wide. They're not thinking 4 wide, Is there even a message that tells you you're 4 wide? I don't think so. Yeah, and look, and he doesn't even keep it tight. He doesn't even keep it tight. Because look how tight the McLaren kept it. So it's just... I mean, it's racing, You can't stop people from sending it, but it's always going to lead to an incident. Always going to do it. Uh-oh. Died. There's the McLaren. He's dead. I guess people still haven't adjusted to the cold tires, man. Cold tires. No joke. Can't drive the same way on the first lap. Yeah, maybe, Mark. But still. But that's why I always say, shut it completely. Like you were telling me, Mark. Well, Boris, you're the one that told me that you should defend all the way, And that is the reason why I say that. But in some tracks, it's almost impossible to defend all the way because they open up at the very last second. And that T1 at Coda does that shit. It's like straight, it's straight. And then at the very last moment, it opens up to the apex. So it just invites a huge dive bomb in there. Oh, that guy's brakes died. Dude, oh my, damn. This McLaren has just been unlucky, man. Oh shit, here we go. Hubert. Oh. Fernando. He getting the elbows out. Let's see if Fernando's going to send it. He's going to send it. Fernando's going to send it. It was never going to work, but he was going to send it. He's going to send it again, though. Damn. Trevor. Oh, Fernando. Fernando, no. What happened, Fernando? Oh. Always gonna happen. Every time. Every single time. No. Hubert. Oof. Oh shit. Hubert and Fernando, they meet on track again. Let's see this. Fernando. What's Fernando gonna do? Fernando! Get him! Get him, Fernando! Oh, Fernando, that's dirty! Oh, that's so dirty! Fernando's so dirty. You see, this is just how Fernando drives. Fernando is dirty. I don't know, maybe he's just pissed off. I don't know. Maybe give him the benefit of the doubt? What do you guys think? Yeah? No? I don't think so, man. Some people just race a certain way. What is he doing at the start? Oh my, oh shit, the GT4s almost hit us. Oh my god. Guys. Dude, how many times have I said this is one of the tracks where this happens? I was almost a victim of Leonardo. Oh my god. Oh shit. No wonder all this, there was a huge mess here. It's all because of P1. He went too early. Ooh. That's bad. That's so bad. Oof. So that's what led to all of this, guys. Okay. We're gonna do replay reviews, guys. What up, Mobin? We're going to do replay review. Steve just posted one. Let's go. Lamont LMP3. I like it. Let's go. We're gonna do it. Let me open this thing up. What time is it? 9:26. It's fine. That's fine. We're not gonna do the fixed anyway, so okay. All right, let's quit out of here. Let's quit out of here. All right, here we go. Time for some. We got 3 replay reviews I gotta get through, guys. 3. Yeah, this is perfect, dude. Works perfectly. Sweet dreams, Ryan. Sweet dreams. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Am I gonna do the next IMSA? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the next IMSA. We got 15 minutes to do the replay review, and then we're gonna do the IMSA. I mean, perfect segue, you know? We're going back to Le Mans here. Okay, so tell me a little bit about this lap. I'm guessing this is just a practice lap. Okay, practice lap. Tires are warm. Is this the first flying lap? Second flying lap? What is this? Your first warm-up lap? Okay. Because I'm looking at the laps, and I'm guessing you're using active reset, right? And just starting the lap here. I just want to know how hot the tires are, because the car gets faster and faster and faster as the stint goes on. So. Okay. Let's see. First things first, I would drive the middle. Don't drive left side. The first thing I would do is let me go to the draw tab here. Okay. Replay review from Steve. We are LMP2 at Le Mans. We're going to lower the volume of the music just a little bit because it's just blasting in my ear. So, the first thing I was going to say is we want to limit the amount of distance we're covering, right? And so if we go around the track like this, we're going to cover a lot more track than if we just, bam, straight shot, right? So the straight shot is very, it's too much. You kind of want to go middle of the track like that. It still puts you to the point that you need to be at, though, for the turn in. So you'll see. Right, so we would be cutting through here. And so at the turning point, we want to be a little bit closer here to the edge of the track, just to widen it up a little bit more, just to not force the tires as much. And this is pretty good. Okay. And real quick, before we keep going into the replay review, I'm looking at 5 things. There's 5 checkpoints. Edge of track at the turning point. That means I'm using all of the track. These are very black and white. You're either doing it or you're not doing it. Hitting the innermost apex. Brake throttle transition is happening at the apex. The throttle is confident, and we're using all of the track on exit. Those are the 5 checkpoints. They're black and white. It's a yes or no. There's no maybe, just a little. No, it's either yes or no. And if the answer is no, then you know what to improve, right? And you want to work backwards. So, for example, if I didn't use all the track on exit, it's probably because something else happened at the mid corner. It's probably something to do with the brake throttle transition, probably something to do with the throttle was not confident, right? So keep working backwards until the answer is yes, right? So let's say the answer to so here, for example, the answer would be no for edge of track at the turning point. So we went all the way back to step 1. So this would be kind of the apex, I guess, technically for T1, and then T2 is Dunlop. We could be a little bit more to the inside because the left side tires can be on the right side of this curb, right? And we can avoid this bump a little bit more, this big bump, because this is what unsettles the car right there. I don't know if you guys see it bouncing right there. If you can avoid that bump a little bit, it's going to be easier to brake. So we're going to start braking probably around here where Steve's already braking. And he's already lifting too, which is good, right? He's on the brakes nicely. And now we go back to the 5 checkpoints for this corner. We know that this is a chicane, and we know that the first corner we're going to sacrifice the first corner to get a better exit out of the second one. That's the number one thing. That's understanding racing line. But in this case, we still need to be on the edge of the track at the turning point. So where is the edge of the track, Steve? I'm going to give you 3 options. Is the edge of the track? Let me get the line tool. Okay, is the edge of the track there? Is the edge of the track here? Is the edge of the track here, right? And when I ask that question, I'm talking about these right side tires. Where should these right side tires be? Should they be along the yellow line, the red line, or the blue line? What do you think? So the red? Okay. So the answer to that question, right? And we're going to look, remember, it's at the turning point, whether you're executing. We're just taking a look at your steering wheel here to see what is going on. When the wheel's turning, when it starts to turn, it's right there. So this is your turning point, right? This is where you're starting to turn in. So what do you think? Are you on the, you said the edge of track would have been that red mark, right? You said it was going to be here. So we're not to the yellow, we're not to the mark that you said would be the edge of the track. And I'm here to correct that and tell you that the edge of the track is more closer to the grass. It's very close to the grass. In the GTP, it's pretty much the grass, but in the LMP2, it's a little bit off of the grass to avoid an off track here. But that's going to make a huge change to the way you drive this corner, right? So your number one goal here needs to be put the car into this spot right here, and then go and make this corner. Don't go do 100 laps with the car here, because then that's just going to solidify this bad line, right? And in order to get here, you're going to have to adjust this part. And now we already talked about what it looks like, being a little bit tighter through here, just to prioritize being more to the right and potentially getting on the brakes a little bit earlier, maybe a lift of the throttle a little bit earlier, just so that you're in more control of the car. You want to prioritize getting the car to the right spot on track. Then you increase the speed. You see what I mean? If you can't get to this spot with the speed, with like on the limit of grip, then you do it under the limit of grip to at least visualize what it looks like, what it feels like to put the car there. Then you ramp up the speed and try to get closer to the limit of grip and build up to it, right? So, then we're going to go second checkpoint. Or actually, yeah, second checkpoint. Are we on the innermost apex? So this is where your car is. Is that the innermost apex? Or is the innermost apex here? Or is it here? Or is it where your car is? What do you think? So here, for example, there's no off track. There's actually a slowdown, Steve. So maybe you didn't quite try it as the way you think you did, because I'm almost certain there's no off track here, but there is a slowdown. So, but I'm here to tell you that the edge of track is pretty much the yellow line, and the car should be going through here. Should be going through. The left side tire should be avoiding this first sausage curb. So you should be here and pretty much going through here like that. So try it again. See if, and it depends how you go through it too. Like the shape of the car, how it's going through, you know? It does depend, because that determines what your tires are touching. So, okay. Now, so we lose the car a little bit here, right? We lose it a little bit. Okay. And this is a very complicated corner, like we said. But the important one is the second part, okay? Everything the reason I'm covering this in so much detail is because everything we just talked about right now applies to every other corner on this track. This track is a bunch of complicated chicanes. The next part of this, of the sector 1, is a chicane. It's a left-right combo. Then you have the first Mulsanne chicane. That's a chicane. Then you have the second Mulsanne chicane. That's a chicane. Indianapolis is just a long chicane, a right-left combo, right? Porsche curbs, chicanes. It's just a bunch of chicanes that have different shapes, different curbing, and you have to find the right line through it. But the right line is basically you extrapolate what you've learned here in this, in Dunlop, to all those other ones, right? So ideally, if we're going to maximize this corner, we would put the car all the way to the left and get the widest entry and get the best exit, right? But that's unrealistic because we would lose too much time trying to do that on entry. But we got to find where the car should be, right? It should be somewhere in this area, kind of where you have the car. So you did a good job of getting the car to that spot. However, the car is not in control, right? You got there, but not in control. The car's body language is not telling me like, oh, Steve's about to get on throttle confidently here so that he can have the best exit possible. The body language of the car is Steve's out of control, and he's going to have a tough time turning the car in properly to hit the apex at the right speed, all right? That's what the body language is telling me right now. So still want to put the car there, which is good. And then now we're going to judge, are we at the innermost apex? Is this the innermost apex of this corner? So we already identified edge of track at turn in, right? We saw it where it should be roughly. Now, is it there? Is it completely crossing through here? You know, there's a slowdown here. You're close, but you can cut more of this. You can cut more of this. Right? So we got to fix that. And then let's see on exit. Remember, the 5th checkpoint is on exit. Am I using all of the track? So where is all of the track? I'm going to give you some choices here. So we got right here on the edge of the curbing, left side tires on the edge of the curbing. We have, let's see here, left side tires along this little small bollard, or left side tires to the left of the bollard. Where's the edge of the track? What do you think? And this isn't just for Steve. Anybody that's watching, you're welcome to join in and take a guess. Okay. So part of the problem here is that you don't know. And not knowing is going to make it impossible to put the car there. You see what I mean? So you're missing the first part, which is knowing where it is. Which is tough. And this is one of the reasons why replay reviews, not replay reviews, guides, track guides are important to a certain degree. Because if you're not exploring properly, you're not sure, the only real way to know where the edge of track is to watch a really fast lap from somebody and see where their car is. And more than likely, like if it's a 7K and above guy, they're going to be on the edge of the track most of the time, like 99% of the time. You watch a 5K guy, they're probably going to be on the edge of the track maybe like 90% of the time, you know? So there's going to be some mistakes in those laps. So that's why I encourage you to look at laps from people that are very high rated. And the answer to this question is the blue. The blue line is the edge of track. And we're very far away from the blue, right? We're almost a car's width to the blue line. And a car's width here is major in terms of time because we could have carried significantly more speed through this corner and all the way down to the braking zone of this corner, right? So, that's the 5 checkpoints. That's how you apply them. So now let's go look at what would you say is your weakest corner? Oh, actually, what would you say is your strongest corner, Steve? And let's go look at your strongest corner, because your strongest corner is going to tell us a little bit more about where the limitation actually is. And a lot of people struggle with Dunlop anyways. It's a very difficult corner. So first sector is weakest. Okay. So real quick, we'll go over this. Edge of track, right? We need to be at the edge of the track at the turning point. Turning point is like around here somewhere. So we're not quite at the edge of the track. We're close, but we're not quite there. Racing line looks good. Very nice edge of track here. Nice apex. Very confident throttle. This is what you would call very confident throttle. Very confident. So that this Tetra Rouge looks really good. So think about the 5 checkpoints that I talked about, right? Edge of track at turn-in, check. That's a yes. That's a yes. Innermost apex, I'm gonna give it to you, but you could be a little bit, just a hair more to the right, but it's really close, right? Using all the track on exit, I would say yes. Yes on all the track on exit here. Now the other two, confident throttle, we said yes on the confident throttle. This is definitely a confident throttle. And now they're done. There's one more checkpoint, which is what? Brake to throttle transitioning is happening at the apex or right before. If there's a big gap between the brake and throttle, then more than likely we overslowed the car, right? And let's see, is there a gap here in these inputs? Okay, it's a slight gap. It's there. It's definitely there, right? Because from here to here, there is no input. Okay? Which means you're coasting. And that tells you right there that brake to throttle transition is not happening at the proper place. And if it's not happening at the proper place, it's usually because we're either overslowing or just too hot into the corner. In this case, we're overslowing, right? We've overslowed. So to fix that, we got to look at when should we brake? And maybe your brake marker is not quite there, right? Because I'm looking at the brake now. The brake is a little bit early. It's a little early. So, but now we're getting into more complicated stuff, into gray areas. This is where having a trained eye helps to spot things, right? And what is necessarily wrong. But the reason I talk about those 5 checkpoints is because those are very black and white. And that's something that you can apply to any corner on any track, compared to a track guide of a fast guy. And you can easily do the 5 checkpoints for yourself and try to fix whatever the problem is. Okay, so now take a look at these inputs here. And think about what we just talked about at Tetra Rouge with the brake throttle transition, with the coasting. And tell me if you think that if you're on the limit on the entry here. Are you on the limit of grip on the entry based on these inputs? That actually looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. But what do you think in terms of the braking? You can clearly see that, look, from this point, right? From this point, and I'm going to give you a cheat here in terms of where the throttle comes on. The throttle comes on right here. This is where the throttle should come on. Okay. So from this point to this point, we actually have a lot of coasting and even more brake and even more coasting. And then we finally get on throttle late, right? Late here. So even though we were really cautious and we overslowed the car down, we were still late on throttle. So this starts to get more complicated because there's several things that happening that are not quite right. But ultimately, we're not quite on the innermost apex. And then, what is the brake marker that you're using here, Steve? I forgot to register for IMSA. Yeah, I messed up. The 150-ish? Yeah, but so 150 would be where, like, yellow at the end of the rail. Okay, but you're on the brakes already. So where should your car be in comparison to this brake marker? Should you be braking? Are you braking right when your car crosses that line? Are you braking? Because right now you're braking right when your car crosses the 200 line. Right? That's about right. Yeah. So we would go back to the basics here in terms of brake marker. Is the brake marker there? Because we can't really judge mid corner, we can't judge exits if we're not executing at the brake marker, at the proper brake marker, if we're not slowing the car down well enough, especially in this track, because this track requires a lot of, you got to be on the limit on the brakes, otherwise you lose a lot of time. And so you have to have the right brake markers and you have to be executing at that brake marker. And in this case, we just spotted a hole. The hole is the brake marker is not precise enough. And we're not actually executing at that brake marker that we're talking about. So got to kind of go back to the drawing board here and say, okay, is it going to be this yellow barrier? Is it going to be the 200? And I got to brake there so that then I can start feeling the limit of grip. What does the car feel like as I'm going through this first part of the entry? You know? And I got to be braking at that same spot every time, so I can feel the car better and better and better. So in this case, your brake is early. It's early. And that's why you're overslowing the car down. That's why you're coasting quite a bit, right? That's why. It's because it's early. You should probably be on the brakes about here. This is when the brakes should be on. Right about here. At this point, brakes should be on. Right? This is where the brakes should be on. And now we talk about where's the edge of the track at the turning point. Right about the cone. So you're doing that, right? That's good. But here, for example, you should still be on the brakes, technically. Through all this, should be on the brakes, even if it's like very small. So that already tells you you're overslowed because you're having a coast already here. You already had too much. You already had burned up too much speed. So you're having to get off the brake. And now you're back on the brake. And now off the brake. And then back on the brake. And anytime that's happening, guess what the car is doing? The weight's going forwards, backwards, forward, and you're losing grip. Right? So, but that's even more complicated stuff. That's way more advanced. Like this weight transfer that's being caused by the brake and all that. We could talk about that all day. And it's going to be cool to talk about this advanced thing, but ultimately, that's not going to help you. What's going to help you is get a better brake marker and brake at the proper spot. So, what's up, Outkart? Yeah, it is. It is tough. And I'm very candid with these. And I'm very, very transparent about these because ultimately, this is how you improve. It really is. All right. The other thing here, you never drive in the middle. Never drive in the middle with a prototype because it's slower. The car bottoms out. So all this whole time that you were driving in the middle, you're losing time. In the GT3, you do drive in the middle because it's faster. It's just the shape of the corner or the shape of the pavement. All right. We go back here, and I can already tell you again, we're just early. We're just early on the brakes. We're early. So here's your homework, Steve. I want you to watch a track guide or watch my lap from RDoc if you have access to it, which I think you do, and just see where I'm braking and just write it down. Write down where that is and go execute that brake marker. And my lap is on the first lap, right? It's one out lap and then that lap. So you don't even have to get the tires all the way warmed up and everything. It's like just go out for one warm-up lap and then go try to execute those brake markers. And as the tires heat up more and the car burns off some of the fuel, it's going to be lighter. You're going to be braking even later, right? So based on the car, things start to evolve, things start to change a little bit. But that's why it's important to compare yourself to specific laps. Same setup, same conditions, same fuel load. Try to eliminate as many variables as you can. Thanks, Alcard. I appreciate it, man. I try to help as much as I can. So then you see again that same problem, which is the coast. So by getting the right brake marker, you're going to eliminate the coast. And then once you start getting more consistent entries at the right brake marker, then we can start talking about potential, like where the good apex, good exits. Okay. So this is pretty good, but then the throttle is a little late here. A little bit late. Yeah, but even here, you're overslowed. You're overslowed here. So just go look some brake markers. You're overslowed here as well. And being overslowed is causing issues. Because trust me, it's so much easier. It felt late, yes, but it's because of how you're forcing yourself to brake wrong. You're not at the limit of grip on the brakes. That's why it's so important to know where the brake marker is. You don't really know where the brake marker is. You need to look at somebody's lap, know where the brake marker is, and just get the car to stop. The car is not stopping properly. But yeah, no, we could definitely work on this in a coaching session because this is the big limitation, to be honest with you. And it's glaring here because of the huge braking zones. Other tracks you may not see it as much, but in this track for sure. Because look, you brake, right, and you're already lowering your brake pressure, already lowering the brake pressure. And look, then it ramps up. And then it goes back up, goes back down. And even there, at the very last second, when you're supposed to be releasing properly, it ramps back up again. And the reason why it keeps ramping up is because you're releasing too fast. Because you're braking too early. I'm telling you, it's like your eyes are seeing it more than likely. I don't want to really get into the mechanics of why it's happening because it's not going to be beneficial to you. But it's definitely happening. And, yep. The only way to fix it is accurate brake markers. Yeah, even here, just look at your modulation. There's there's too much modulation. It's just constantly going up and down, up and down. And if I were to look at your brake traces, they would probably look something like this. As you peak, kind of like that. Whereas you want something more like that. You want this. So, and this happens when the brake marker is not precise enough. See, even here, take a look. Look how much it goes up and down several times. See that? Just constantly, just. Even here, that it's just, this is just a, this should be something like this. That should be the braking zone here. But if you look at your braking, it's more like, watch it. See? 3 humps on that thing. So maybe even something to do with your brake. Maybe it's not calibrated properly. Potentially. You know? That could be it, but I'm more than likely, I'm pretty positive it's just bad brake markers. Brake markers not precise enough. So, good stuff though, man. It's not an easy track, and braking issues are definitely going to be exposed at Le Mans because it's a track that requires a lot of braking, you know? A lot. All right, we got 2 more actually replay reviews. We'll do 1 more here, and then we'll do a race. All right, let me stop this recording. All right. Any questions, Steve? Stop using the bad leg. Ian, you're funny. You refuse to believe it's hardware? Like I said, it's probably, I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure it's just a lack of a precise brake marker, man. And I know that sounds like in your head, you're probably thinking like, Boris, there's no way. That's too basic. You tell me I don't have good brake marker, you know? It's just too basic. It's too basic. But at the end of the day, the way you go fast is by doing the basics perfect. Like, perfect. You know? Everything always boils down to the basics, to the basic fundamentals of driving technique. I'm telling you. And to be honest with you, our current like brake bias will, it's not gonna really impact this what we're seeing. Doesn't matter. Brake bias irrelevant to this, unless it's like he's running like 40% brake bias, maybe, you know, where he's all the way to the back completely. But it's not happening. There's no way it's happening. So, yeah, I have VRS pedals. I use the Blue Spring, you know, but it doesn't mean that Red Spring, a lot of people use Red Spring. Actually, most people use Red Spring. Yeah, most people use the Red Spring. So, especially if you use shoes. And I think you use shoes, right? So, Red Spring is definitely better for shoes. When I wore shoes, I used to use the Red Spring. But I stopped wearing shoes and I went to the Blue Spring a long time ago. Or you're a socks guy? So you're just a strong guy then. You just got big leg muscles. I mean, I'm pretty strong in the legs because I play soccer, but I get some knee pain. So that's why I switched away from the Red Spring. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it, Blitz. Thank you. Okay. So let's go to another replay review here. We got a replay review And if you guys don't know, join the Discord. You can just post a replay here, and I do replay reviews. As you can see, there's many here already. Who do we got next? Personal best Interlagos RDocs week 6. Okay, let's do that one. Or should we do this one? Check my replay. Which one? What is this? We're going to do all three. Just the next one we're going to do Interlagos. We might as well do Interlagos since we've been working on this. Okay, so this comes from Wes. Okay, Wes. His average lap is over the full run, 30.5, a few 29s. Set feels great. I need to stop over driving the mid sector. Please help. Okay. So let's look. Let's see what's up. Let's download this real quick. Ah, shit. Wes, if you're there, give me access. I don't have access. I need access. I sent a permission request. All right, here we go. We got a replay review. We'll do the other one. All right, let's get out of here. Your concern is that your brake calibration is not done how it's supposed to be. Yeah, I don't think it's the calibration. While this loads, we could pull up VRS here, but I don't think that's the problem. But this is how mine are calibrated. Basically, this is what they look like. You can see I run it at 85%. So I have an 85%. And I have a slight curve. I don't know if you can see this. Maybe this is big enough. But it's a slight curve just to give me a little bit more range on the bottom part here for trail braking. It's very small. You can barely tell that, but there is a curve. There's an upward curve. So, I mean, really, there's not much to it, the calibration thing, because you just basically, I just press it to the max that it can go, right? So this is what it would look like. Like, this is what it looks like when I brake. So you can see, right? Bam. I don't have to look, and that's usually what I get to. Like, every time. I don't have to even, like, think about it. It's about 90%. Around 90% every time. That's just the muscle memory. If I were to go to a default setting, right? The default setting, where this is 100. So now the brake is a lot harder, right? The brake is a lot harder now. Like, if I just go to my normal brake pressure, that's what it looks like. That's my normal brake pressure, okay? With my leg. See the difference? There's a difference there. I'm not even getting to like 80. That's my natural threshold. Okay? I'm not going to retrain my natural threshold. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to match the software to my natural threshold of what I need. For prototypes, you need 90% roughly, 90 to 100% brake pressure. So when I have it at 85, natural threshold reaches what it needs to reach. And when I used to change, now I use this for prototypes and GT cars, okay? And it's not optimal for GT cars, but I always forget to change it. So that's why I just leave it at that. But you can see I used to have a GT profile, and my GT profile was actually harder to hit peak pressure here. It was a 92 rather than 85 because I found that that was the equivalent to good GT like braking, right? Because it doesn't need to be 90%, but it needs to be a little bit more than 78. So it's more like 82-ish, right? But ultimately, what it comes down to is you find your natural threshold, and you tune your brake to be able to achieve that natural threshold. Here's a good trick. You could just open up this, record the screen, close your eyes, and just do it 5 times. And just see where it goes. Just close your eyes and brake, like pretend you're going into T1 and you're going to hard brake, and just see where the brake goes to afterwards. And you'll know if it's your natural threshold. Because if you're doing it right, you're going to be hitting the same peak every time. And if it's not calibrated properly, you're going to be at 95, 75, 60. I've seen it all over the place, you know? So that's how you calibrate the pedal properly. Maybe I need to make a video about this. I don't think because I played around a lot with the brake to find the right way of doing it. And I normally do this in coaching sessions, guys. Like in a coaching session, I'll check to see if the person's natural threshold is properly tuned. If it's right, I'll just have them close their eyes and just brake. And yeah, it works. Yeah, you definitely want to tune it to your muscles, right? You want to tune it. You want to tune the pedal to your leg, not your leg to the pedal. Because it's much harder to change your muscle memory than to just change the pedal to where it needs to be. But also, there's something to just setting it, forgetting, and just driving as well, you know? If you keep changing it all the time, it's worse. So it's probably better to just have it wrong and just drive for like 2 years than to change it 50 times throughout a 2-year period, you know? And I know this for a fact because I changed my brakes so many times in the pursuit of perfection. And I can tell you perfection doesn't really exist. Just get it good enough. Good enough is good. All right, let's take a look at Feetree's lap here. He's in the GR86 at Road America. All right, I'm going to start recording here. We got Feetree in the GR86 at Road America. Replay review. Hey, Timmers. Steve, thank you, sir. You didn't have to.
Speed's Jobs tipped $60. Thanks a lot, man. This has been super enlightening. Thank you for your time.
Well, I'm glad it was helpful. And like I said, record yourself or we can do it offline together. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Appreciate the $60 donation there, man. That's big of you. Timmers, calibrating the pedal to your leg instead of your leg to the pedal makes so much sense. Yeah. When you put it that way, it makes a lot more sense. And I think that's a good idea for a video. I need to make a video here. So we're back to the 5 checkpoints that we covered in the last review for Steve here. And so let's just take a look. Let's actually watch the lap. We didn't watch the whole lap from Steve because it was Le Mans and it's too long. But we'll watch Feetree to see here. I'm already seeing something what I call cheating in. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it means that when you start braking, you kind of already start turning the wheel and going towards the apex, rather than just braking in a straight line and then turning in to the apex. I don't know if you guys caught it. Let's see if it happens here again. Oh, we're on the dirt a little bit. Not good, but you didn't quite see it there. That was pretty good. I like that braking zone. This is somewhere where you actually do need to do that, so it worked out. This should be flat out. Yeah, no problem, flat out. Let's see if we're able to do edge of track here. Ooh, oh, he gets on the dirt, and notice how he was out of control. He pulled away from the edge of the track because he was out of control. We'll come back to that corner specifically. I think that's T9. Then we got the carousel, which is very difficult. This should be flat out. Yeah, it's flat out. We'll just fast forward this. Get the Canada corner. Let's take a look at Canada corner. Good brake. Good release. Good throttle. That was a very good Canada corner. This should be flat out. See here. Okay. All right. Okay. So there are two things. And we didn't cover this, I think, for Steve. And we may have. But usually there's things you can do to just improve at this track. And then we talk about fundamental driving techniques that apply to every track. Right? We're going to talk about both here for Featurey. I guess let's start with the last corner, because I think this highlights the first issue that I was talking about, where we're drifting away from the edge of the track and we're not quite at the edge of the track, right? Because if we're going to look at this corner, and let's try to make it a little different here. We're going to go from top aerial view of the corner. Give you guys a different perspective. Sometimes you need a little bit of a different perspective to get an idea of what the corner actually looks like. So I would say this is about the turning point for the corner, right? This is about where we're going to turn in for the corner. So maybe we can zoom in just a little bit here. Okay. Having said that, where is the edge of the track here, right? I think this is the edge of the track there. I don't know, you guys should be able to see that blue mark there. We're pretty far out. But basically, it's the concrete marker, right? The concrete barrier here. This right here. Not the concrete barrier, the concrete curbing that we have here. Realistically, we should be all the way to the left here, right? To widen this corner. So fundamentally, we're just taking the wrong line through here. And we just need to correct that. This is a quick correction, and it's going to make a ton of difference to the lap time here, right? And this is what I was talking about, track-specific stuff. And to take it one step further, let's talk about let's talk about driving technique and how it would apply to other tracks. How do we get to this? How do we get to the edge of the track here? How do we get to this point? We want to get to this point in a way that the car is balanced and in control. And if you see how the edge of the track looks, right, it pinches in. It actually pinches in. See how the track is not straight here. And we're coming from the right side. So our trajectory is from the right side. So we can either go from the right all the way to the left and then follow the edge of the track, kind of curving. But that's probably not the best thing, because what do we want to do? We want to brake in a straight line. We want to hit a brake marker and brake in a straight line to the turning point. If we don't brake in a straight line, we're not going to brake properly. We're going to be under the limit of grip, and we don't want that. Actually, we'll be at the limit of grip, but not the optimal limit of grip, you know, because we're turning at the same time. So in this case, as you can see, where is his car pointing? Is his car pointing? We just draw a line. This is simple. We just draw a line from the middle of his car. Where is his car pointing? And where is the edge of the track? Right here. Right? This is the turning point. We want to be right here. So what is that going to tell you about when he brakes? He has to turn the car now. He has to turn the car. The car is not set up to take this corner properly. And there's a reason why we're now on the edge of the track. So now as we get on the brakes, he's cranked the wheel quite a bit. Do you see how the car is even leaning to the left? Leaning quite a bit to the left. And if we look at the cockpit here, we're turning. We're turning quite a bit at the start of braking, which is not great. If anything, it's actually now pointed nicely to the edge of the track. He should just brake straight. It actually worked out. And he just does, but he's turning instead. He's just not executing properly. It's a quick fix here for him. All right, now let's go look at T1 real quick. T1. So this is much easier because we can brake parallel to the edge of the track. When you brake parallel to the edge of the track, it's easier to brake in a straight line. And see how we're already drifting away from this very edge of the track that we want to be on. So we're narrowing the corner, and we're ultimately not going to be able to carry as much speed. Ideally, we probably want to turn in from this point. So let's see where his car is at the moment, like we reached that point. Let's take a look. So at that point, we're already, look, like three tire widths off of the edge of the track on one of the fastest corners on the track. We're going to lose a ton of apex speed from this. You know? Let's see if that happens at T3. We're on the brakes. Ideally, we want to be turning in from here. So let's see where the car ends up. So at the moment we want to turn in, again, we have about 2 tire widths here. Very simple change here. Very simple change. Very, very simple. Barbados. Thank you, man. Thank you for the consecutive raid. 2 days in a row, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome, everybody. We're just doing a quick replay review here. We just got done with Steve's replay review, but we're doing Feetree's replay review. And here, for example, we start braking and we're on the gravel. You know, so it's little changes that are gonna completely change his lap time for sure. Just a couple quick tweaks, and we're gonna really improve the lap time. But ultimately, the limitation in driving technique for Feetree is in car placement for turn-in, basically. I bet you he's doing this at almost all other tracks, right? And then one last corner I wanted to show you guys, because this is what deters people from being on the edge of the track. This is very important. What's up, Latch? As you can see here, edge of track looks pretty straight, right? It's fairly straight. But it's weaving a little bit. And if you can see, like, you see how there's concrete exposed right here to the right of the white line? And like right there, it's exposed. And then towards the end, over here, it's full grass. So if you try to brake parallel to this here, right, you're not going to get on the grass here. But you're going to get on the grass at the very end. And you see how the grass kind of protrudes a little bit, even more so, like towards the end? So if you try to maximize the track here, more than likely you're going to dip a tire right into the grass at the very end, and it's going to spit you out, and you're going to spin out. So let's see what happens. Okay. That's exactly what happened. All right. So how we get to the edge of the track is really important. And remember I said you can either brake parallel to the edge of the track or you can brake diagonally in a straight line. And this is a fundamental driving technique. All right. So in this case, this is what it would look like. If we're braking parallel to the edge of the track, it would be, we draw a line, right? And we brake parallel. And most of the time we can brake parallel to the edge of the track, but sometimes we can't. In this case, we can't really brake parallel to the edge of the track because we want to be here. We want to be, edge of the track here is halfway on this curbing. To open up this corner, you got to be a little bit on this curb. So we can't brake parallel to the edge of the track, otherwise we'll get on the grass. We'll get on this grass here. And that's exactly what happens to him. So when we can't brake parallel to the edge of the track, we brake in a diagonal to the edge of the track in a straight line. So that's all we would do is just place where we want to end up and kind of find a line. And this is going to look exaggerated, and it is exaggerated. That allows us to brake in a straight line and dodging that little bit of grass there at the end. Like this little bit of grass that's right here, right? See how we can just dodge it now. So then ideally the car should be placed more like this. Right? So we can end up right there. And now we brake in a straight line. So some of these things also apply to you, Steve, in terms of the braking, brake markers. This is how people can brake later. A lot of people ask, how can I brake later? Well, brake in a straight line. If you can brake in a straight line, you can brake harder. You can brake later. So you want to be able to brake later, use more track on entry at the turn-in, because you have to slow the car down less to make the corner. You can brake later. Those are the answers. So, cool. Well, we'll post this for feature, and let's sign up for the race. We got 2 minutes. Any questions on this, guys? Any questions, thoughts, concerns, feedback in terms of how I explained things? Maybe a little confusing. Is it fairly clear? What stood out to you guys the most? Any, I love feedback because it helps me teach better as well. Okay, so Steve has a question. If he got onto the curb from the grass, would he have been sent to space? You probably wouldn't have been able to. That's the thing, because the grass makes it out of control, right? When you're on the brakes and on the grass, the rear just immediately steps out. So you go into slide mode. But it didn't affect this car as much because it's a GR86 and it's not that fast. It's not going that fast. But dip a tire in the GTP right there, in a LMP3, in a GT3, like you're gonna end up in the wall. You're not gonna make the corner. You know? Tips are concrete and don't beat around the bush. Okay, good. So sometimes I feel like I maybe repeat things too much. So what do you guys think about that one? Maybe just a little bit more concise, not repeat as much. But sometimes I feel like I need to repeat things. I don't know. It feels like it's important. I want to just drive it in there. So I repeat myself maybe too much. We got a sub. Oh shit. Alcart, thank you for the sub, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Well, good stuff, man. Good stuff. This is the value of these replay reviews. And I'll tell you guys, jump into Discord if you're not. Submit a replay review. I love doing these. I'm on stream anyways, so it would either be me driving or me doing one of these. And I love doing these, to be honest with you. I do. I really do. All right, let's jump into session. I think it's loading. Oh, we got a minute. We got a minute here. This weekend, we got Sim Racing Republic League. I don't know if you guys know that one, but it's similar to the ELMS, LMP2, LMP3, GT3 championship that they have in real life. Graham and I are doing it. We're in LMP2. We were actually going to do Ivra, but Ivra LMP2 was Pro-Am. And unfortunately, we're both considered pros in Ivra, so we couldn't do it. We didn't have an AM driver. So we ended up going with the Sim Racing Republic, but it was fun. We did the first round at Portimao. Portimao, man, such an underrated track. I really like Portimao. But we ended up P2. I made a slight mistake towards the end of the race. We should have won it. It should have been a win. I had Timu chasing me down. And I made a slight mistake that honestly it could have meant completely destroying the car though. So I'm lucky that I was able to save it. What was the car that got me into iRacing? I wouldn't say there was a car that got me into iRacing. I always like racing games though. I always like racing games. I played a lot of Gran Turismo. I think a lot of the things that I'm talking to you guys, I hadn't verbalized or really thought through, but I knew I was doing these things in Gran Turismo a long time ago. Like I'm talking Gran Turismo 1, Gran Turismo 2. You know when those licenses, the license tests were insanely difficult? Honestly, I think it goes back all the way to those really impossible licenses to get gold. I grinded the shit out of those things to get all gold licenses on Gran Turismo 1 and 2. And you had to be inch perfect to get gold on some of those. Like inch perfect. So to get a license for not really. So I spent a lot of time in MX5, honestly, because when I got into iRacing, I wasn't 100% sure I was gonna stay in there. I was driving Gran Turismo, and I don't know, and I had a free account, so I was limited to the MX5, and there was no GR86 at the time. There was no BMW M2. It was either MX5 or MX5. There was no other options. Like rookie was MX5. That was it. I must have done at least 70 to 80 races in MX5 in like 2 or 3 months when I had a free account. So, and then from there, I'll tell you what my progression was. I bought the Skip Barber car. I did like 10 races and I decided I didn't like it. I bought the Ferrari fixed. I forget which Ferrari it was at the time, but I bought that one, and it was D class, right? Yeah, it's still, I think it's C class now, but it was D class at the time. So I bought that one to get to C class, and I did a little bit of Ferrari fixed, and then my next one was the M8 GTE. All right, and I drove a shit ton of the M8 GTE in IMSA multi-class. Like I lived in IMSA multi-class, and I used that car. That's probably the car I honed my craft in, and I got to about 4.5K in that car. After that, I started driving the LMP2, GT3, pretty much driving everything, you know. But yeah, that M8 GTE really was the one. Winnie with the 2 months. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. With my help, you're more comfortable in GT4 cars. Awesome, man. Yeah, the GT4s are now actually pretty tough, man. Especially the first 2 laps. Yeah, the rear is much more alive in the car. I like the GT4s. Honestly, I need to drive a little bit more GT4. All right, we got quality here. We're not going to qualify. We're going to start from the back anyways. So we could talk. Okay. We can talk some more driving technique stuff. I can answer your guys' questions. Whatever question you guys have. I'm here to help. You thought it was going to be the Porsche? I like the Porsche over the BMW. You see, for me, I would pick the Porsche every time over the BMW. I would. Well, what makes you like the BMW more? I don't know. I guess the BMW is a little bit more stable, right? Than the Porsche. Yeah, I figured. It's that front engine. Front engine rear wheel drive is just it's more intuitive. Because pretty much, well, most people in real life are driving front engine, front wheel drive, but it's just more intuitive to drive a rear wheel drive front engine car because of where the weight is in the car. The most difficult car to drive is probably the mid-engine rear wheel drive. Yeah, the mid-engine rear wheel drive cars are really difficult. Especially in fast corners, they're just really unpredictable because of the weight transfer and the way it works. They're just more unpredictable. Pork overall, says Timbers. I kind of agree, but I like the McLaren. But then they made a change to the McLaren. You can't change brake bias in the McLaren, I think, now. Which I don't. Yeah. You gotta be able to change brake bias. I'm pretty sure you can't in the McLaren. You need to pick my brain on the LMP2 for fuel saving. Okay. Well, let me see how much time we have here. We have 5 minutes. Okay. Do you guys know what PEMDAS is? PEMDAS? It's a math thing. Order of operations. PEMDAS. Winnie with the follow. Thank you, sir. Any key tip to adapting to prototypes? You got to be a lot more proactive with prototypes because there's traffic. You have to be looking ahead a lot more. So focus on vision up. Also, things just happen a lot faster. So being proactive is really important because things just happen fast. I would say braking is different. You're going to have to change the way you brake a little bit. It all depends how you brake in GT4s right now. So, but usually in a GT4 versus a prototype, the braking is a little different. But yeah, PEMDAS is order of operations. And if you think about it, there's a PEMDAS in racing. Well, at least that's the way I think about it. That's the way my brain treats it. There's an order of operations to things. You know? And this is the easiest way I can explain that for you guys. You guys have probably seen telemetry. So this is what telemetry looks like. All right, you got this little L-shaped graph. We're going to draw a simple corner. Let me bring my chat back up. So we got a simple corner, a right-hander. Okay. We're on throttle. Right? We're on throttle. Then we're going to be on the brakes at the brake marker. This is the brake marker. We're on the brakes in a straight line. Okay? That's the order of operations right now. And in telemetry, this is what it looks like, right? We're going into the corner. We hit the brake marker, so we're off the throttle. We're on the brakes at the brake marker. And this is the difference here between a GT4 and an LMP2. So you guys can see. This is what the braking would look like for an LMP2. Pretty much. This is what it would look like for a GT4. Okay. That's the difference in braking. And this is because of downforce. Okay. Obviously, these are exaggerated, and this is looking at a hard braking zone. Okay. So with the prototype, it could be something like this as well. It could be pretty hard to peak, and it kind of like that as well. So, but that's the differences in braking. But let's go back to the order of operations, right? So we're gonna do a brake here. We're gonna brake, and now this is the turning point. This is where we turn in. At the turning point, we start releasing the brake, right? So we start releasing the brake. So the release of the brake is tied to the turn in, right? As we turn in, we release, and that helps with rotating the car. Okay. And this is what it looks like on the racing line. We're going to release and throw all the way to the what? Apex. And then at the apex, we get on throttle and use all of the track, right? So this is what it looks like. And it needs to be a confident throttle, right? There shouldn't be a gap between my brake and throttle. My throttle should not come on right here. It shouldn't be like this, because that's a big gap right here, right? And it shouldn't look like this. Would you guys say this is a confident throttle? Would that be confident? Oh, shoot, the brake. We can change that. We can change the camera real quick. Oh, actually, we can make this a little smaller. Like bam. That's good. There you go. My bad. My bad, guys. I'm glad Steve said something there. But there you go. All right, this is not a confident throttle. So that's not good. A confident throttle will look something like this. Okay. That'll be confident. So these are the order of operations for driving. And so you got to be honest with yourself. Is this happening with your order of operations of what you're executing? Are you doing this? You know, most people are not. Most people are doing something like, for example, they're on the brakes here. Before they even get off the throttle, they're on the brake. And the brake starts before the throttle even comes off. You're already doing it wrong, because there's an order of operations to things. If I want to slow the car down, I must get off the throttle before I get on the brake, you know? And we're talking general rules. Obviously, the rules can be broken to a certain degree. Like, this wouldn't apply in rally, right? In rally, you do this all the time where you brake while you're throttling. No, we're talking strictly road racing, circuit racing, right? Similarly, most of us, our throttle doesn't usually look like this. It usually looks like this, you know? Or a big gap right here, and then we get on throttle. So be very honest with yourself and analyze your driving this way with the addition of the 5 checkpoints. And it'll expose that glaring hole of what you're missing. So, all right, we're not going to save that. But that is the order of operations. That's the PEMDAS of driving. And that's how I remember it. I'm a math geek. Is it okay to coast? No. It's never okay to coast. Unless you're fuel saving. The only time you should be coasting is if you're fuel saving. And again, I will say this. That's the general rule, right? We can break the rules once we know the rule. Once you know the rule, it's okay to break it.
One lap to green. Line
If
up
you
on
know
the
what you're
left
doing.
side. The
It's kind of like when you're cooking, right?
2,444.
You got to know the rules before you start breaking the rules.
Fighting for the podium.
So yes, coasting can be beneficial sometimes. But unless you're like 8K, maybe we'll say 6K. Unless you're 6K and above, and you're executing things almost perfect, then more than likely, if you're coasting, you're probably not doing it for the right reason. Steve, actually, I have a track guide for the LMP2, I believe, on my YouTube for Le Mans, but it's an older one. I didn't do a track guide. I just did a lap. You don't need a track guide though. I did say track guide, but you don't need a track guide. You need a good lap from somebody. And how do you think you just get a braking point? All you do is just pause it when he brakes and take a look around, you know? That's what I mean. You don't need track guides from people. You just need to know what to look for. And now you know what to look for because of what we talked about, right? Brake marker, turning point, how hard are they braking? Minimum apex speed. Where's the apex? When are they getting on throttle? Where's the edge of track on exit? Those are the things you need to know. And just to give you an idea why these things are important, I used to write this stuff down. Like in Gran Turismo, there was no telemetry. Like I would look at somebody's replay and I would have columns. Okay, this is the speed at the moment you braked. This was the speed at the apex. This was the speed on exit. And I would just compare that to my speed. You know? It's just different checkpoints, knowing what to look for, and just comparing. And then obviously you also have to feel the limit of grip. That one's tougher to explain though. That is more in a coaching session. Like what that feels like. It's tough to explain limit of grip and like how to drive on the limit of grip.
Car right. Clear on the right. Right side, clear, go left.
Yeah, we're gonna need some luck because some of these GT4s last race were a little bit weird with their lines, but yeah, we'll see here. You see, it's more, and you see what I'm doing here? I'm just trying to hit the marks without getting checked up. That's all I'm trying to do, is just hit my brake markers, hit the apex, get to the edge of the track on turn in to widen up, dodge this car. Oh no! No way, dude. He did not hold his brakes. He did not hold his brakes. What a dick. Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me, dude. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. I was clear. Unbelievable. That sucked. Ay, ay, ay.
Pit box in 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
You gotta hold your brakes. I'm pretty sure he didn't hold his
All
brakes.
damage is repairable.
Either that or you got hit or something, but I went a little deep too. It's just, but I wasn't sure where he was gonna be, you know? The worst part is he's gone, dude. Did he leave? Wow, he left. Wow, dude. Oh my god, that just annoys me so much. Not even a my bad, nothing. Like, he just dips. My gosh, man. So annoying. Ah. 10:49. Dang it. That sucks, guys. Well, I mean, we tried. We tried. Nah, he wasn't on the brakes. Because the brakes you can see that the brakes they illuminate. See, that's brakes. No brake. Brake. So he locks up the brake and he never gets on the brake. So he's still off the brake, off the brake, off the brake, off the brake. He's on the throttle, technically. He's on the throttle. Yeah, he's never on the brakes at all. Yeah. I could have done better, though. I thought I was safe, man. And look at that, man. That was a meatball. That was 6 minutes. That was 6 minutes of repairs. I mean, I did anticipate it. I anticipated because I was... So here, I know that... I know he locked it up on the rears because he braked too hard. I know he's going to the right. I see him get on the grass, right? I see him going on the grass. I know he's going to keep sliding through, so I can't go around. I just got to check up, hope that this guy doesn't hit me, and then take the inside, which is exactly what I did. Could I have gone more inside? Yes. And looking at it, I could have braked a little bit more right here. But the thing is, I also don't want to get check up so much that I'm going to get hit, you know? So, but I think I did enough. And again, the other reason why I'm wider than normal is because I'm also waiting to see what happens with him. Let me see. Because this is what I can see. You guys can see what I can see. I can see his car right there. I can see his car the whole time. See that? See, this guy could have done a lot better. But there's not much you can do when somebody's not even going to hold their brakes. So, unfortunate. Unfortunate, guys. Oh, well, what can you do? Sometimes, sometimes you surprise, sometimes you don't. It's a luck of the draw. That's why I always say qualify. Don't start from the back. Because that's what you got to deal with. I know. Same here, but it happens. I think it was a very productive stream. We did not get a chance to look at Wes's replay review, but that's because I don't have permission for it yet. Let's see. Yeah, we'll leave it off for tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow. We're gonna stream tomorrow as well. So let's rate somebody. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for keeping me company. Hope you learned something today. And yeah, I think it was a good stream. Even though we had a little hiccup there at the end. Let's see if there's somebody that I've never rated before. I want to rate somebody I've never rated before. I usually rate Zach or Rudisco. Alright, there's somebody doing a league race at Interlagos in the GT4. I think that's a good. We could do that. OMF Gets Yang. Let's see. Let me go in there and see. Oh, shoot. I got an ad. It's okay, though. It's okay. I don't know. Who can we raid? We're going for the real Fascism. We raid him sometimes. He's got a really cool vibe in his stream. Let's just go with somebody safe. Supreme? I don't think I've rated Supreme. Supreme. He's doing some Road Atlanta. Okay. Yeah. We could raid Supreme. Alright, let's do it. Supreme. Alright. We're off, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, there comes the battle. Ovando in the gray or the silver. Michael Diaz in the blue. Ovando to the inside, becomes the outside through the next quarter, but Ovando up into second over his teammate Michael Diaz. Michael's going to try and switch it back, though. The long front straight coming up. Can Diaz get back on his teammate and send the dive into turn one? Certainly going to be hoping so. In the draft, 0.2 of a second separate the two. Who's going to be braver on the brakes in the turn one, though? Here comes Diaz to the inside. He looks at it. He thinks about the move, but Ovando on the outside. Is he going to get the better drive off? He's going to have the inside into the arena section. Diaz swoops it around the outside, though, and hangs on to P2 for the moment. It's not over yet, though. Ovando looking for it again around the outside, coming down the hill. He's going to take it back, but Diaz going to think about the switchback. Can he get back to the inside of his teammate and send it into the hairpin? It's not going to be quite so lucky for him this time. He's going to slot back in line for just a moment. But remember what Michael Diaz was able to do last time around. He was able to get to the inside of his teammate in turn one. He was able to try and make the move back. Ovando doesn't want that to happen again, though. Closes the door, forces Diaz the long way around. Michael's going to go for the switchback, though. Ovando on exit holds on, but Diaz still there, trying to make it work the long way around.
Trying to make it work the long way around here at this point, trying to see what they are able to do. There, it's getting a little tight through the Mercedes arena.
Very tight between teammates, and yet again it switches back. Ovando with the momentum. He's going to pull to the outside. Can he do the move that Diaz was able to do on him? Down the hill, around the outside. Boris gets it back. Diaz makes it work around the outside. The momentum through the second half of the quarter wins out for Diaz. And Ovando, yet again, is likely going to have to follow his teammate into the Nordschleife.
Oh, there comes the battle.
Ovando in the gray or the silver. Michael Diaz in the blue. Ovando to the inside, becomes the outside through the next quarter, but Ovando up into second over his teammate Michael Diaz. Michael's going to try and switch it back, though. The long front straight coming up. Can Diaz get back on his teammate and send the dive into turn one? Certainly going to be hoping so. In the draft, 0.2 of a second separate the two. Who's going to be braver on the brakes in the turn one, though? Here comes Diaz to the inside. He looks at it. He thinks about the move, but Ovando on the outside. Is he going to get the better drive off? He's going to have the inside into the arena section. Diaz swoops it around the outside, though, and hangs on to P2 for the moment. It's not over yet, though. Ovando looking for it again around the outside, coming down the hill. He's going to take it back, but Diaz going to think about the switchback. Can he get back to the inside of his teammate and send it into the hairpin? It's not going to be quite so lucky for him this time. He's going to slot back in line for just a moment. But remember what Michael Diaz was able to do last time around. He was able to get to the inside of his teammate in turn one. He was able to try and make the move back. Ovando doesn't want that to happen again, though. Closes the door, forces Diaz the long way around. Michael's going to go for the switchback, though. Ovando on exit holds on, but Diaz still there, trying to make it work the long way around.
Trying to make it work the long way around here at this point, trying to see what they are able to do. There, it's getting a little tight through the Mercedes arena.
Very tight between teammates, and yet again it switches back. Ovando with the momentum. He's going to pull to the outside. Can he do the move that Diaz was able to do on him? Down the hill, around the outside. Boris gets it back. Diaz makes it work around the outside. The momentum through the second half of the corner wins out for Diaz. And Ovando, yet again, is likely going to have to follow his teammate into the Nordschleife.
Oh, there comes the battle.
Ovando in the gray or the silver. Michael Diaz in the blue. Ovando